Hey people, how you doing? It's been a while, and today we're going to talk about pricing your home. And it's quite potentially one of the most critical parts of selling a home is getting the right price on it, as much as staging your home, as much as cleaning it and getting everything looking just wonderfully. Having the right price is paramount. Um, if you overprice, and I have to preface everything here with this is not the realtor's job necessarily to set the price. This is going to be a cooperative effort between a realtor and their client, and it's relying on data. It's um, it's science, maybe a little bit of hocus pocus in there too, but it is a science. And we want to look at it as objectively as possible. So, how does one price their house? Average person would go look on realtor.ca just as a website, and that's where all the houses are listed going to show, and go, hey, there's Joe's house. Joe's house is just like mine, except mine's way nicer, and I raised all my kids in here. And dang it, it's worth 10,000 more than Joe's. So my house is worth $1 million. Hate to tell you, that's called subjective value. Subjective value does not sell houses. Problem with looking at list prices is, like anything, people want to negotiate on price. And people want to have a good deal. So most often, prices that are the list price are not what homes actually sell for. Sometimes they can sell for considerably less. Maybe the house was overpriced right from the start. Maybe the market has changed. And we have seen some negative pressure in the last few months with raising interest rates and stuff like that. So prices do change. It's a fluid thing, and they're not static over time. The great thing about High Prairie is we are not a boom bust town, so prices are fairly stable. So people look on realtor.ca and go, yeah, my house is worth this. Not the best source of information. So what we use and what your realtor should be showing you and using it to justify where their suggestion is a little sheet like this. And this one says sold. Right there, sold. That's what we should be using to price houses. And any realtor you talk to should be taking that these solds with them and assisting you in making the right decision on pricing. This is I like to think of it as this is a show, not a tell. I'm going to show you what I think your house is worth. I'm not going to tell you what I think your house is worth. I could be full of cockapoo-poo. So, some realtors historically have listed properties in excess of where they should be to secure a listing. That's not helping anyone. What you have then is a property that languishes on the market and does not sell. I could tell anyone in town their house is worth $3 million. It doesn't make it so. The sheet is what's going to tell you. Remember? Sold. So, we want the most accurate data as possible and to make the most accurate price possible. and what we're going to use as solds. I would think if you're talking to a realtor, myself included, ask to see 3 or 4 solds that are similar. In a small market like this, we're not going to have 7 houses that are virtually identical like you may see in Edmonton or Calgary or wherever. This is a smaller market, so we need to be a little more creative when it comes to comparing house to house. Rarely do we see 2 houses that are identical here, but we can say, okay, so our experience has shown that having this sort of development will reflect in X number of dollars, $2,000. You have a fireplace, okay, so that's $2,000. And I'm just throwing it out there. That's not necessarily the case. So we are a little bit under pressure, a little bit harder to do is come up with a price. But if we use our comparables, we will find you a price. Listing too high, already talked about it. Your property is going to languish. It's not going to sell. The old adage, everything sells at the right price, is paramount here. If you just have it way too high, and it's like going to the grocery store and seeing a product and it's like, oh, that's crazy high. I'm not paying that. Or a pickup or whatever the case may be. A house is a commodity just like everything else. It's just a really expensive one. And it comes with washrooms and stuff like that. So if it's too high, yep, it's not going to sell. If it's too low, obviously as a seller, you're thinking, okay, I left money on the table. The other thing is if you're underlisted, it can sort of indicate to people who are looking and have seen prices and suggest that, okay, why? Again, you go look at a vehicle and, a $10,000 vehicle is for sale for $3,000. Immediately it makes you go, So undervaluing can actually work against you. We have to still strive in that this is a joint effort. This is going to be what the seller is willing to accept for your home, and realtors' knowledge and information and experience in what you can get for your house. We also have to take into account motivation. Are we looking at a fast sale where we're willing to take a little less? Or are we looking for maximum value out of our property? Because the two are typically inversely proportionate. I just want to throw my hands in there a little bit. Speed and price typically don't go together. They work against each other. So we need to understand you, the seller's motivation as well. So that's our process. That's what we want to do. I think we do a pretty accurate job in assessing what houses are worth. Little secret, guys. You probably think your house is worth more than what it really is. But don't tell anyone else. That's just between you and me. Okay, that's it. That's quick. Science, comparable solds, get the right price, your house will sell, and my office is willing to do it for you. If you have any questions, any, personal, what about my home, definitely give me a call, 780-536-0021. Be glad to assist you. And yeah, that's it. have a good evening. Go back to watching the Premier's address, or whatever you were doing prior to spending time with me. Appreciate your attendance. Talk to you again.